Hey, I'm the Pixel Pundit, and today we're taking a look at Final Fantasy X Remastered. This is game 2 in my series covering the 3 titles that made me a gamer. Back then, I was too young to really understand the story. I just knew the fights were fun, the world was beautiful, and that every on the airship was basically my childhood boss battle. Now that I've revisited it as a slightly more mature gamer, it hits differently, and I finally understand why this one stuck with me. When Final Fantasy X launched back in 2001, it was a big deal. The first mainline Final Fantasy on PlayStation 2, fully voiced dialogue, cinematic storytelling, and a world that felt alive in ways we hadn't seen before. But as a kid, I didn't notice any of that. I was too new to gaming to understand party strategy or the grind that defines this series. I just mashed buttons, got stuck on Evray, and called it a day. Now, playing the 2013 remaster on Steam, it feels like a second chance to really appreciate it. The updated textures, lighting, and character detail breathe new life into Spira without losing what made it special. It's not a full overhaul like Final Fantasy VII's remake, it's more of a respectful polish, but I'd still love to see it get that treatment someday. The gameplay still shines. Final Fantasy X's conditional turn-based battle system remains one of the best. Deliberate, strategic, and satisfying. Swapping party members mid-battle lets you play smart instead of fast, and the sphere grid is brilliant. It's a literal map of growth, letting you chart each character's development. When I was younger, I didn't realize how flexible it really is. Now, I appreciate that you can take someone like Kimahri and shape him however you want, even if, let's be honest, he often feels like the least impactful party member for a while. His story's great, but in combat he can lag behind. Leveling in this game is also surprisingly fair. As long as each character participates in the fight, they all share the experience. Even something as small as using guard counts as a contribution. It can get tedious swapping everyone in and out just to keep them caught up, but it's nice knowing no one gets left behind if you put in the time. The remaster also adds some great quality of life options. You can speed up the game or even disable random encounters when you just want to explore or run back for that one missed item. It's such a small change, but it saves so much time, especially during those long treks or when you're grinding through side content. And speaking of grinding, yes, this is still a grind-heavy game. Going for 100% completion is not for the faint of heart. The 200 lightning dodges took me around 8 hours over 2 days. I swear, I'm not insane.
Okay.
And that chocobo race for Tidus' celestial weapon was about 2 hours. I got lucky. But finally finishing those challenges is incredibly rewarding, especially when you earn those ultimate weapons. And credit where it's due, Final Fantasy X community is amazing. The fan-made guides, tips, and little creative methods for surviving the grind make the experience way more approachable today. It's one of those fan bases that keeps the game alive, sharing new ways to optimize, strategize, or just make things more fun. While we're talking about grinding, Blitzball deserves its own shout out. It's optional, sure, but man, once you dive in, it's dangerously easy to lose hours chasing that perfect team or finally nailing Jet Shot. Back then, I didn't really get it, I just knew I wanted to win. Now, it's one of those things I look back on and instantly smile about. Chaotic, weird, and somehow perfect, just like Final Fantasy X itself.
That's a Guado, right?
As a kid, I missed the depth of Final Fantasy X story completely. Seymour, I thought he was just a cool blue-haired guy. Now it's obvious he's bad news from the moment he opens his mouth.
I am Seymour Guado.
What I appreciate now is how the game's characters grow with you. Tidus used to be the one I related to most. Brash, confused, and thrown into a world he doesn't understand.
Getting swallowed by sin, ending up here in Spira, not being able to go back to Zanarkand, everything!
Now I see myself in Yuna's quiet determination and Auron's wisdom. That shift says a lot about how well these characters are written.
Better than you,
finding out at a critical moment, becoming emotional.
Spira is a world built on faith and sacrifice. Every step of Yuna's pilgrimage is both beautiful and tragic. And when you finally learn the truth behind it all, it hits hard.
This guy looks a lot like you. Showed up. Traveling with him, I thought maybe you were still alive somewhere, huh? But then again, here you are on the far plane. Oh, that guy I just told you about? I gave him a sword. Something I want to give you.
Whoa, you're giving this to me?
Yeah, use it well.
That's the sword you gave Chapu.
Even after all these years, the world design is stunning. The remaster's lighting and textures give Spira the color and vibrancy it deserves. But what holds up best, no surprise here, is the music. Zanarkand is still one of the most emotional pieces in gaming. Every track, from the battle themes to the temple hymns, perfectly captures the mix of hope and sorrow that defines the game. It's one of those soundtracks that stays with you long after you stop playing. Now, it's not all perfect. The controls can be frustrating, especially on a PlayStation controller. For some reason, O means to advance in the menu and X means to go back. The complete opposite of what your muscle memory expects. It takes a while to adjust, and honestly, I wish the remaster had a remap option. The leveling grind can also get extremely tedious if you're not using guides or some creative methods to speed things up. Once you start hunting for max stats and ultimate weapons, it becomes more of a time investment than a skill set. And yeah, the voice acting hasn't aged perfectly. There's some wooden deliveries, and of course, the laughing scene. But honestly, it's kind of endearing now. The awkwardness makes it feel real, like these were genuine performances, not polished sound bites. Revisiting Final Fantasy X Remastered as an adult feels like reconnecting with an old friend, and one that you understand better now. When I was a kid, I played it for the monsters and the battles. Now I play it for the characters, the themes, and that quiet message about finding your own meaning in the face of fate. It's grindy, it's dated in spots, but it's also timeless, and that mix is exactly what makes it special.
The war ended, and our reward was sin.
Well, that's why Final Fantasy X was one of the first 3 games that made an impact for me. If you've never played Final Fantasy X Remastered, it's absolutely worth your time. And if you have, maybe it's time to revisit Spira. You'll find it's just as beautiful, but it might hit a little harder this time around. I'm the Pixel Pundit, thanks for watching. What game from your childhood still manages to surprise you when you replay it? Hey, future me here. After recording this, I finally loaded up my old save and beat the final boss. And wow, that ending just hit me harder than I expected. It's like closing a chapter I started over 20 years ago, and seeing it all come full circle, it just feels complete. Still, it's a beautiful kind of ache, the kind that sticks with you even after the credits roll.